You're listening to an AppleViz podcast.
Hello and welcome. My name is Thomas Domville, also known as Anonymous. Now, as you know, Apple always has our back when it comes to security. And with no exception, Safari has some great features that helps you protect you while you surf. And one of those features is called Advanced Tracking and Fingerprinting Protection. So, in a nutshell, what it does is that, have you ever noticed when you're on a website and you're looking at some product or whatever not, and you go to the next website and you come around, and then all of a sudden, all the websites start to show their ads that, oh my gosh, I was just looking at that at the other website. How creepy, right? You ever get that sensation when it's spying on you and trying to figure out what you want and start to advertise on something that you might be interested in? Well, that's how they do their advertisement. And that is tracking. So if this feature is turned on, what this does, it stops that cold turkey right in its tracks. So essentially, it will stop tracking you and it won't figure out what you were looking at. The other one is called fingerprinting. This is a little more elaborate. This is kind of a sneaky way of advertisement. Know who you are. Not essentially your name or anything like that, of course, but what it does is if you go to a website that contains ads, what it does, it drops this little fingerprint cookie and it fingerprints your device. So it knows that you're this person with this device. So each device is unique. And as you go to different sites, it picks up on that fingerprinting and it's, oh, this is that same person still. And so I can say, oh yeah, he was looking at this, even though you blocked the tracking. Well, isn't that sneaky? So there's one form or another they always seem to get around and doing. Well, have no fear. Apple is there to save the day to give us a little more protection and security for you when you're using Safari. So let me show you how to set this up.
Settings. Double tap to open.
So let's do that. Let's go into Settings. One finger double tap, open up Settings.
Settings.
And now we're going to swipe to the right until you get to Safari.
Safari button.
And here we are. Double tap on Safari.
Allow Safari to access. Heading.
Okay. The easiest way to get to where we need to go to the Advanced section. That's the very bottom of the screen. Now, you can swipe to the right until you get to the very bottom of the Advanced button, or you just do a 4-finger tap towards the lower half of the screen on your device.
Advanced button.
And it takes you quickly to the Advanced button. Let's go ahead and double tap this. And now we're going to swipe right until we find the Advanced Tracker and Fingerprint Protection.
Advanced heading. Website data button. Privacy heading. Advanced Tracking and Fingerprinting Protection. Private browsing button.
Okay, so by default, it is set up for private browsing. Now, let's double tap that and let me show you the options that you have.
Off.
You have 3 options here. You have the option to turn off entirely. If you go to the right,
selected private browsing.
This is selected by default, so anytime you use private browsing within Safari, this feature is already enabled. However, if you don't use the privacy tab, then this is what we have to offer here to the right.
All browsing.
Is all browsing. That's the one I'm going to select.
Selected. All browsing.
Now you're protected for advanced tracking and fingerprinting. It's that simple. Now as a bonus here, I'm going to go back out here, top left.
Advanced. Back button.
Double tap.
Advanced Tracking and Fingerprinting Protection. All browsing button.
Now you can hear it's all browsing. Now let's go to the top left again.
Safari. Back button.
And back to the Safari.
Advanced button.
Now we're going to go to the top here. I'm going to put 4 fingers top half.
Settings. Back button.
Now from here, I'm going to set it to headings. I'm going to look for privacy here.
Safari. Heading. Allow Safari to access. Heading. Search. Heading. General. Heading. Tabs. Heading. Profiles. Heading. Privacy and security. Heading.
Take a look in this area just for fun and giggles. Some of these things you might want to consider turn on if they're off by some chance. So let's go to the right here.
Prevent cross-site tracking. Switch button. On. Double tap to toggle setting.
If that isn't on, you might want to consider double tapping that to give you more additional privacy and security.
Hide IP address, trackers, and websites button.
If you have an iCloud subscription, this is definitely something worth checking in and turning on to hide your IP. So in other words, it can't track you back to what city and location you're from if you do it this way.
Require Face ID to unlock private browsing. Switch button, off. Fraudulent website warning. Switch button, on. Double tap to toggle setting.
That should be on as well. Make sure that's on. That's very critical to make sure that Apple will tell you that this is a site known to have fraud. Please do not go further, and that will protect you as well.
About Safari and privacy, link. Clear history and website data, button.
Last one up here. This is the one I wanted to get you to. And if you have already done a lot of surfing and those trackers and fingerprinting cookies are there, so it's not a bad idea to go ahead and clear out what you have in there. Now, in doing so, I'll give you a note and just a warning for you, just to let you know that it will simply log you out of everything you have signed in. So if you're one of those that have signed in something and you want to stay signed in, I get it. You don't want to double tap that to clear out, because what they'll do, they'll clear everything out of all the caches and the cookies, and so thus far will lose your login. But I'm okay with that. I have everything stored in my keychain, so I can just simply go to my keychain and simply log back in. So to do this, just do one finger double tap.
Clear history.
And go to the right.
Close, button. Clear time frame, heading. Selected, last hour. Today and yesterday. All history.
And you have those options of what you want to clear. So I'm going to say everything.
Selected, all history.
And go to the right.
Additional options, heading. Close all tabs. Switch button, off. Double tap to toggle setting.
I'm going to go ahead and just do that.
On.
So by doing this, it'll close all your tabs that you have open. So I know some people are probably squeamish about doing that. Please do not feel like you have to do that. It's not required. It's just an additional step that you can take to make sure you're cleared out.
This will close your 4 tabs. Clear history, button.
And then we're ready. Double tap.
Clear history and website data, dimmed, button.
Voila. And this also clears out the cache. So you probably want to do this every so often because it takes up a lot of space on your phone if you do a lot of surfing. And over time, it could get really, really huge. And so you probably want to clear that out every so often so you can make some free space for your device. Okay, so that is that. And so that's how you get a little bit more secured and a little bit more protection provided by Apple's and the feature that it gives us to make us feel a little safer when we surf. Just remember that when you have the advanced tracking and fingerprinting protection on, that you may see ads that are not relevant to you. And that is because we stymied or cut the cookies from the trackers and fingerprinting from being able to allow it to look through your history of all the things you looked at and surfed. So the ads are not going to be relevant to you. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. So that is going to do for me. My name is Thomas Domville, also known as Anonymous. Until next time, bye-bye.
This AppleVis podcast has been brought to you by the community of applevis.com for the latest in resources and tips and tricks to get you the best experience from your Apple device. Visit www.applevis.com.